Hey, welcome to the Ultimate Boat Marketing Podcast. We create this podcast so we can help boat dealers sell more boats and increase revenue. In each episode, we will answer questions to help business owners, the marketing team, general managers, and the sales team understand the role of digital marketing and help them sell more boats. So be sure to tune in and subscribe to our podcast, and we will be pushing out at least one podcast a week. Subscribe to our podcast at www.boatmarketingpros.com. And if you have any questions, comments, or any topics that you would love to hear from us, or you would like to see us discuss on this podcast, just shoot us an email at podcast@boatmarketingpros.com. So in this episode today, we're gonna introduce this question on how can I market my boat show online. The reason for this topic is because this is basically the season right now where all the boat shows going on. So we have with us today Sydney Fahrenbruch, digital marketing manager from Boat Marketing Pros. She's gonna really detail out some of the key elements that you can take from this podcast today and utilize and put them to work for you to see some result for your boat show. There are 6 things that you need to know to market your boat show. And she's gonna go over each of those key points. So I guess, Sydney, we're gonna dive right in. Can you tell us a little bit about why you think marketing your boat shows is important?
So boat shows are really important, particularly for boat dealers, but it could also be for a boat rental club, any kind of vendor in the marine industry, really, because it's just a way for everyone in the community to kind of get together and engage. So it will definitely increase your brand awareness because people who maybe haven't heard of you or have heard of you but don't know a lot about you will, see you there, see your team, get more information about what it is you guys do. And then since all the boat shows are very local, so they're very specific to that area that they're in, it's going to help you engage with the local community that's, immediately around you, or maybe if you travel, to other cities for boat shows, engage with that community. And of course, it's going to help you increase sales because you're going to get in front of more prospects, more leads, more people you can sell to. And then to kind of relate it to the digital space a little bit more, it is going to help you drive more traffic to your website, kind of twofold with that increasing brand awareness and getting your name out there. After the fact, people are going to, follow up by visiting your website and wanting to learn more about you.
That's fantastic. So I guess maybe could you elaborate a little bit in terms of driving more traffic to the website? Are you saying that after someone visit your booth or see your brand or your name at the boat show, you think that they go back home and basically looking, or at least they know who you are, probably go to your website and find more information. So I'm assuming that at this point, if you go to a boat show, you should at least have that event on your website so that when people go to the website, they can recognize they saw you in the events, they see the events on your website and possibly dive in more, correct?
Yes, exactly. So that's something that people will do, to follow up after the fact if they, met someone on your team there, or they even just, walked by your booth at the boat show, maybe didn't stop to talk to you but wanted to know a little more. They will most likely follow up by visiting your website or looking up some more information about you. And to kind of lead that funnel, you can start by making sure you have everything on your website and making sure you kind of utilize these tools to promote yourself being at the boat show beforehand.
That's fantastic. Thank you. I know we talk about the 6 things that you need to market your boat show. So can you kind of walk us through those key points? And along the way, I will be asking you a few questions, but can you elaborate on those 6 points?
So we'll start with step 1. It's really quick and simple, and this is kind of just something to get yourself organized before you start doing anything, which is to create a one sheet for your event. So we recommend, whether you're the business owner or the marketing manager, who's kind of overseeing everything. Just create a simple, one-page, document with all the information, all the details on the event. So where it's going to be, what time it's going to be, exactly what you're going to be doing there, what team members you're going to have there, things like that. Just so you have all your details in one place. As you upload everything to your website, to Facebook and everything, it's going to keep all the information cohesive and any communication you have internally. So you as the business owner, if you're communicating to your team or if you're working with an agency and you need to communicate with them, you can all kind of refer to the same document to make sure everybody's on the same page. So that's just a quick, simple step to do beforehand, just to make sure you have all your information consistent.
That's fantastic. So almost like a checklist of the things that you must do and should do right before the show happen. And if you have any suggestion, how far along before this you should have that checklist ready to go? Is it a month, 2 months, 3 months in advance? I guess it depends on the show, right? If you're going, for
Yeah.
example, to the Miami International Boat Show, or the West Palm International Boat Show, or the one in Michigan. So those are kind of, it depends where you are in the country and how the travel time, correct? I am assuming.
Yeah, it'll depend on the event. When it comes to how early you should do it, I would recommend to just say as soon as possible. As soon as you do have that information, go ahead and get things rolling. And you'll see later when we talk about some of the promotional things you can do, we recommend, as far as really pushing things out there, to start at least 6 weeks in advance. So that's a good starting point, but you can even start sooner.
That's good. So point one is create a one sheet for that event, create those details. About point two, what do we do in point two?
So once you have all your data compiled, you can kind of start pushing it out there into all these different channels. And the best place to start is definitely your website, because of course your website is kind of the, center of everything you do, of growing your business online and promoting it. So putting it on the website makes it easy for your audience to, find the information that they're looking for. So if anyone, is searching for the event, information about it, they're going to find it there. So if you do have frequent events and frequently attend events, we do recommend implementing an events calendar on your website, which, there's plugins that you can do that, pretty simple task. If not, though, you can also just use a landing page, whether it's, creating a separate page on your site or even using your blog to just post some information about it on there. So just get it posted to your website and make sure to include the date, the time, the location, just an overview of what the event's going to be about, any vendors that would be there, just pretty much any important details that, your audience that would want to attend would be looking for. And we also recommend a form that you can collect RSVPs, even though, it's not necessarily, you don't have to have people RSVP for the event, but having a form there just so you can collect people's emails so you can follow up with them is always a good place to start, and you can kind of get that relationship and that connection going with them.
That's fantastic. So I'm assuming, especially for the RSVP, and that's you brought a good point here in terms of making people RSVP for the event. It is not required. However, the key here, I guess, is kind of for lead generation. As you know,
Exactly.
most boat dealers do have plenty of sales people waiting to have that potential customer walk in. It's a great opportunity while you have this event established on your website, posted on your website. You can kind of solicit people to submit their information, and for the most part, most people would love to, and maybe offer them something on that page, on that events page. Say, hey, stop by at booth 103 or something like that. We would love to see you. Why don't you drop your name and for a chance to win something? So, and as you know, people love t-shirt, people love a mug. So there's always things that you can offer people so that they can give their name. And most people that come to your website, possibly they probably potential customers anyways that might stop at the event where you're gonna be at. Thank you, Sydney, for point two. So coming to point three, what's in point three? Can you unpack this for us?
Yes. So once you have the event added to your website, the next step would be to add it to your Facebook page. We have seen that Facebook is very popular in terms of people finding events, and obviously, you know, people connect with their friends, and if they see, oh, my friend is attending this event, you know, I'm interested, and any users that are following your page will see once you add the event. So it's just kind of another place to put it and get it in front of some more eyes. And so in doing that, add the same information, keep it consistent as far as the name, the date, the time, any information you're putting out there. Make sure to follow Facebook's guidelines, you know, for images and things that you put on there. And there are a couple options, additional like categories you can check off to get it, just get all the information filled out there. And then you can link off from Facebook to your website to ultimately want to drive more traffic to your website. And then there is also the option on Facebook to boost posts, and you can boost events. So if you wanted to do that, if you have some audiences built in Facebook, you can target people interested in boating or interested in certain types of boats in that geographic area. You know, you will have to pay a little bit in ad spend, but you can kind of try to promote it to get in front of some more people through there.
Excellent. That's fantastic. Yes, I use Facebook myself, although I wouldn't say I'm an advanced user, but I always see events there that I'm very interested in. The first thing I do is just mark it on my calendar. If I know I'm going, if I want to be there, either bringing my kids, I'm always just like put that in my calendar. So it is very, very important if you're gonna be in an event, especially for boat shows. And one of the things Sydney mentioned is like when you're adding an event on Facebook, you do have the option to select a few categories or things that you can filter through. One of the things that you want to do is kids friendly. I don't go to boat show without my kids, so because they love boating. So I usually select kids friendly because I know um, most parents, my friends, we usually take our kids to go to boat shows. So make sure when you create an event for for people to check you out and at the the local boat show, make sure you select kids friendly. So that way you can increase your visibility on Facebook and also get parents to be more inclined to come by. So I guess the next one is number 4, Sydney. Um, can you
Yes.
go to number 4 and tell us, unpack that for us?
Yes, so for step 4 would be a third place that it's really important to make sure you add a listing for your event, which would be Google My Business. So Google My Business is kind of tied to local search. It's tied to your map listing in Google. And a lot of times Google pulls from here for event information. So you know, lately, as we know, the search engine results page are always changing, but if you're searching any kind of event type thing, they kind of pull in those listings for events separately, and they list them right at the top of the search engine results page before you see the normal organic and ad results. So Google My Business is where it pulls these from. So it's really important to have it listed there. So when you log into your Google My Business profile, if you just navigate to post, you see an option to add events, and you can just go ahead and post all the same information there. Be sure to keep it consistent with your website and Facebook as far as the name of the event, the date, the time. Again, if you have that one sheet from the first step, it'll be easy to keep all that information consistent. And then again, just make sure to link off to your website, and that will help with driving a lot of search results and visibility with people in that local area from that map listing.
That's fantastic. That's a good point. And as of late, and this is really fairly new to the Google world, where now you can see events if an event is related to the search terms that you put in Google. So that's very, very important, especially for the local boat shows that a dealer will attend. It is very important to have that information up there for you, so that the user, when they search, you right in there. That's perfect. So I guess now we went to the creating the sheet. We add the event to your website. You create an event on Facebook. You add it to Google My Business. What's the next step? Number 5, Sydney.
Yeah, so those first 4 steps are really just about getting all the information out there, making sure you have your event listed, everywhere you can. The next 2 steps will kind of be a little more about how you can promote it once you have all that done. So step 5, we'll start with planning and scheduling social media posts. So like we said, we recommend, if you can, announce the event about 6 weeks out. So do that initial post on, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to do Twitter, LinkedIn, can be used for certain people in the boating industry, but for the most part, Facebook and Instagram are going to be your 2, main channels. So start about 6 weeks ahead to announce the event, and then in the weeks leading up to it, we recommend posting at least once a week, and you can kind of tease specific things. So you can say, we'll have a certain boat model we'll be featuring, we'll have this salesperson there that you can come say hi to, we might be working with this specific vendor that you can also see. So just kind of tease things to continue to build up that buzz for the event. And then the week leading up to it, we recommend posting at least twice the week of, and you could even do like a countdown type of post saying, the boat show's this weekend, or we have 2 more days until the boat show, something like that. And then during the event, you can utilize stories and post throughout the day, and kind of do more like live posts throughout the day to kind of just continue to generate that engagement.
And I'm assuming that engagement you're talking about is more of to make sure, not only for people to see you can post pictures, but it's more for a brand awareness, for people to let people know in the community that you're there. But also when they have this itch to buy a boat, they know where to go to get that boat. So a lot of it is not just because you want to post, but it's more of visibility.
And for, with adding the event on the website and adding it on your Facebook page, you're going to ensure that people that are looking for information about the event are going to see you. But with these kind of posts, you can kind of generate, as if you're posting good, engaging content, people that follow your page, or people, if your content gets reshared and someone that doesn't follow your page sees it, this is going to kind of help you build that audience that might not have already been there. So it's just, something else you can do. And then for those who are already interested in the event, kind of keep them engaged and make them remember, okay, I have to stop by this booth when I'm at the show and come see you.
That's fantastic. And now about the number 4, what number 6? I'm sorry. What is it that you would like people to do in number 6? The 6 steps.
Yes, so this would be the last step, and we did kind of touch on it a little bit earlier when we talked about the RSVPs, but you can utilize your email marketing to promote the boat show, and then again, like we touched on with the lead generation, to follow up. So similar to the social post, we recommend announcing the event about 6 weeks out with a kind of save the date email. And then in the weeks leading up to that, maybe 4 weeks ahead, 2 weeks ahead, and the week of, you can send a reminder email. Obviously, you don't, want to have too much overkill when it comes to the email marketing. So kind of use your best judgment on how often to send those. And with those emails, you can kind of prompt the call to action to RSVP, and you can collect more emails. And then after the fact, you can follow up with a thank you email saying, thank you for RSVPing to come see us at the boat show. It was great meeting all of you. And you can kind of use that to turn those leads or the people that you met at the boat show into future sales. So you can kind of tie it all together as a lead generation tactic.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you, Sydney. Now, I do have another question for you. I guess, can you tell me, why would I go through all that steps and do all this if it's a boat show? Most people know of it. Why should I do all this? Can you tell me what would be the reasoning behind doing all this?
Well, I think, like we said, the brand awareness and being engaged in the community, going to a boat show and just being there is going to do that anyway, but everybody else that's there is kind of on an even playing field as far as that's concerned. So if you do these things ahead of the boat show and after the fact, it's kind of a way to get a leg up on your competitors, because if someone is searching for information about the boat show and nobody else has anything on their website and you're the one that does, you're going to kind of have that increased visibility from people coming to your website. And when people come to the boat show, they'll say, oh, I saw you guys on Facebook or something like that. And by capturing emails, you'll have a way to, capture more leads and have that communication. And then it kind of just helps with your brand image, to put you ahead of competitors, and it will help you drive more sales while you're there. So I think it's just kind of a way to, differentiate yourself from the competition. And at the end of the day, these are 6 steps, but when you really break them down, they're not that complicated. We have the tools already in place to utilize them. And, obviously if you're working with an agency like Boat Marketing Pros, they can implement everything for you. So
That's fantastic. Thank you, Sydney. And just to echo your point in terms of, yes, there's all this, when there is a boat show, there's always some information somewhere online. But quite frankly, most boat shows, based on what we have seen, most boat shows are local, unless they like Miami International or Palm Beach International, or the some of the other big one, the Fort Lauderdale one. Most boat shows are just local boat shows, and that is why it's imperative that you have that information circulating on your website, on your social media, newsletter, and really entice people to sign up. So that they can let you know they come in. It's not just because you want to get the information, but it's more of the awareness, as Sydney mentioned, is because many of those boat show website, they don't promote this as much, because they don't have a lot of incentive to do so anyways. They do, but they don't, because if you think about it, most people already know. For example, the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show is coming that date, or if you are in somewhere in New York, most people know the boat show for Saratoga is coming that date. So most people, that's what most boat show website have, and they don't promote this as much. Whereas you, as a local dealer, if you can put really detailed information about that event on your website, it's basically you promoting that event, but also get people to know your brand, be aware of your brand gonna be in that boat show. And that's the key here for those 6 points. So I guess to wrap it up, is there anything else, any last points you want to make, Sydney, before we wrap this up? But this has been very, very helpful, very good information for any boat dealers, whether you have a 2-man show or a 1-man show to hundreds of people at that dealer. You still can use those very good information to put into action. So is there anything else that you would like to add to this? Any last point you want to make?
I think we covered everything. And like you said, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest boat dealer there or you're the smallest. Anyone has the tools to do this. And just taking these few steps to, really promote the boat show, promote yourself, and get all that information out there will definitely, get you ahead of all the other vendors at the boat show.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Sydney, for joining me today on our E1 podcast. We appreciate you guys listening and to the end of this. Again, my name is Harry Casimir. If you want help with any of this, or to how to implement any of this, just either you can subscribe to our podcast on our website at boatmarketingpros.com, or shoot us an email at podcast@boatmarketingpros.com, and we would love to see how we can help. So with that, that's a wrap for us, and thank you so much.